one thing that I like to do, and a lot of people that have subscribed to my channel or know me pretty well know that I like to build motorcycles. I like to ride motorcycles. I like everything that is motorcycles. But today, we scored a big one. A friend of mine owed me a favor. I've done some work for him, and he had a little something sitting out in his parts warehouse that I've been interested in and been looking at for a few months. I went back to his shop, found out that he took it all apart. Sadly, I've got to reassemble it, but that's half the fun. So we're going to clean this thing up, get it all put back together, and I'll have a complete and running project. But I suppose you want to see what it is. Here it is. It is a complete, minus engine, Honda CR450. I believe it's an 03. Everything that belongs to it is here, as I said, except for the engine. I have the exhaust pipe even, which I'll be giving back to him because I won't be using that. Or maybe he'll be able to sell it to one of his clients. But we've got a complete CRF450 sitting here. We got a set of wheels. They look to be aftermarket. The rims say Excel on them. I haven't heard of the name before. Sprockets look to be in pretty good shape, so they're reusable. We've got plastic. It's a little bit rough, but we can clean it up. It can be repainted, no problem. Here's the front wheel. We got some plastic here. We got all of the brakes and levers, control levers are all there. We've also got the rear shock, the swing arm, along with all the linkage, and the bolts that belong to it. So that's a nice score. We got a gas tank with a petcock attached to it. So again, that's also a good deal. We've got the front and rear fenders, as well as a seat without any tears in it. It's getting a little bit loose and baggy on the end, but that's nothing that I can't fix. So that seems to be in good shape. We've also got two radiators over here. Also got the air deflectors that go in front of them, the air box, along with a filter. And the filter is really clean, really clean. It looks like it's hardly ever been used, if it's ever been used at all. So this bike has the triple trees still attached to it. We got a frame with no cracks or other weirdness in it. It looks to be good. It appears that the motor was pulled out of it because it was either blown or it was bought for the motor to be reused for some purpose in another bike perhaps. But this thing is going to be one heck of a project. But what we're going to do with it is similar to what my pal Grauta One has done, and he put a CR500 two-stroke engine into a CRF frame. I have a similar project where I took a CR250 frame and I put a CR500 motor into it, but I built it exclusively for street, with street suspension, street everything. It won't be used for off-road, but having worked with the off-road parts on it, and having talked to a lot of the off-road people, they've talked me into getting a dirt bike. So I've got a dirt bike project on the way now. All I gotta do is find me a motor, do a little bit of cutting to the frame, because down below here, we're missing two mounting tabs that belong on the front for the CR500 motor. That mounting tab set that's down there on the bottom probably won't line up. Hopefully the swing arm one will, and I think the swing arm bolt is the same size, but we'll have to check on that too. The frame front, or as they call it, the Y, up in the front here, that's the inverted Y. Those usually have to get raised up higher. So where it's at down here, it's not going to clear the exhaust pipe, which comes through the front, so it's going to have to go up. So generally a little bit of the frame gets cut off, and then this slides on up there, and then they get cut down on the bottom and get extended, and that brings it all up. So I'm very happy with this project. Looks like it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun, but sadly the frame has no sticker on it, so I can't tell what year it is. So I've been told it's an 03. I was told that with uncertainty, so we're really not sure. But ooh, I got a set of forks too. Almost forgot. We got a complete set of CRF450 forks over here. Here's one of them. Check that out. Yep. No scratches or bang-ups on them. They look to be in some really, really good shape. Aside from being a little bit dirty, those forks are in excellent shape. So we'll start putting this thing together this evening. Once I got a roller together, I'm going to throw it out in the backyard. I'll shoot it down with some degreaser and start pressure washing the thing until we come up with something that looks kind of nice. So there's a project. That's what we got. It's a CRF450. Going to be converted to an aluminum frame CR500. Awesome. Can't beat the price of that. Well, I'm very happy with what I turned out with. I'm kind of surprised what we've got going on here. The bike is pretty much complete. There's very, very little that I'm missing. There's only a couple little things that are going to bother me. This thing's going to be a really, really nice conversion. Let's have a look what we got. Here's the bike, CR450. It's in excellent, excellent condition. There's a little bit of rust here and there on some of the spoke ends, but that's no big deal. Nothing I can't buff off of it. The decal set on here is completely ugly. The custom badge over here to say what it is certainly needs to be fixed. And one of the big technical difficulties we got is that rear axle happens to be the wrong one. So we're going to have that straightened out and find the correct one, or maybe hit eBay to find one that works for us. The bike seems to be really, really cool though. I mean, everything is here. It looks like there's only a couple nuts and bolts that are going to be missing from it. All the controls on there are working. The rear brakes I've got in a box off to the side. The thing is just really cool. I am very, very satisfied with this. Now I just got to make some room in the garage to make sure that it fits. But we're going to have a great time tearing up the off-road, because I don't know anybody else that has a bike of this size in this area. A lot of the local guys are running around on KTMs, and there's nothing against KTM. KTM makes a great bike, but you know, you don't see any of the 550s around anymore. But the CR500s are still living to this day. So there it is, CRF450. Cost free.